I still see black men being shot, black bodies lying in the street. I hear the screams. I have lived through the massacre every day.
The thing about trauma is it doesn't stop when the incident does. It bleeds generation into generation until someone has the opportunity to say, enough.
My name is Viola Fletcher. I'm a survivor of the Tulsa race massacre. I'm asking my country to acknowledge what happened in Tulsa in 1921.
107-year-old survivor Viola Fletcher went to Washington 100 years later. She told members of Congress that the aftershocks of the massacre didn't clear when the smoke cleared Greenwood.
When my family was forced to leave Tulsa, I lost my chance of an education. I never finished school past the 4th grade. To this day, I can barely afford my everyday needs.
The group sitting before Congress explained that there was a case for reparations, that Oklahoma state documents showed some city officials had participated in the massacre, that families lost all their property and couldn't get their money back by going through courts or insurance companies.
Typical reparations remedies include trust funds, a commission to identify the victims and their descendants, some permanent historical record, some form of direct payment to the victims, and college scholarships for the descendants. That's roughly what Congress provided for the victims of Japanese internment.
Each Wednesday since September 2018, the Reverend Dr. Robert Turner with Vernon AME Church protests at City Hall for reparations for victims of the massacre and their descendants.
We come here in the rain to let the world know reparations now.
Vernon AME Church survived the massacre, but some of its members did not.
I can feel their energy. I can feel their cries. I can feel their trauma.
He believes reparations are part of what is needed to move the Tulsa community forward, to move the nation forward.
How do we value Black lives? How do we respect citizens who were killed at no fault of their own?
In 2001, after more than 3 years of research, a group of people commissioned by the Oklahoma State Legislature started presenting their reparation recommendations to local and state leadership. Those recommendations include direct payments to survivors and their descendants, a scholarship fund, a memorial for any victim remains found. Tulsa's Mayor G.T. Bynum says his administration has been working to acknowledge and address disparities that exist in Tulsa, but says he can't justify cash payments.
I can't support financially penalizing this generation of Tulsans for something that criminals did 100 years ago. I don't think that is fair, and especially when you consider that you would almost certainly have the descendants of victims being taxed to pay that.
Viola Fletcher's younger brother testified alongside of her. At the end of his speech, he was asked if he had anything left to say. He reminded his audience that while they had different upbringings, different backgrounds, different histories, different skin colors, there was a path forward.
I appreciate being here, and I hope we all will work together. We are one. We are what?